Hello, I'm D.Dan, and you're presently at the site of 1/4 of the wall that's going to be hung on Saturday morning under the auspices of Snofest at 11 o'clock. This is one of the murals. It's not quite finished yet, and these are the students and the teacher who are responsible for putting the paint on this surface. I did very little of the paint myself, mostly all done by these 4 students and their teacher. First of all, we'll introduce the teacher. Actually, maybe I should tell you what school we're at. What school is this?
LVR.
LVR, just kidding. This is Luba Hall.
Hello.
And
Cheryl Cook.
Cheryl Cook.
Mary Jean Trainer.
Mary Jean Trainer.
Mark Edmonds.
Mark.
Arden Gregory.
Arden Gregory. And what we have here is, in effect, a posterization. And it's done by painting into flat color areas, and it's done in a style that's often referred to as abstraction. And if you'll step over here just a second, Arden. Thanks, man. If you look real close at this, you'll find that it almost disassembles and you can't tell what the figures are. And then as you draw back, you'll notice that these things come into focus. And the philosophical point that's being made here is that they're a lot like people. When you crowd people, it's difficult to tell who or what they are because they tend to disassemble. And I think what we need to do with one another so that we can get along a little better is to give each other a respectful distance. And consequently, and hopefully, this mural will illustrate that. And this mural was done for your pleasure by 4 different high schools: Kaslo, LVR, Trafalgar, and Mount Sentinel. And so the actual mural, when it gets on the wall across from the jam factory, will be 4 times this size. It'll look like 4 pictures in a photo album with a bit of a legend in the center. So what you're going to see here is that center thing where the list is some of the people who have made contributions, varying from thousands of dollars to just personal affirmation. And of course, some names are going to be missed, and you will please be forgiving for that. And the actual list won't be put up for a little while, so that there will be names added even in retrospect. So hope that doesn't become an issue. And really, thanks very much. I love you, and I hope that this project is an adequate demonstration of that for the time being. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Arthur Eakin. I'm one of the directors of Snofest Society. And I would like to add to this the community spirit that's been involved in this creation for everybody to enjoy has just overwhelmed me and all of the crew.
Thank you.
And I would like to say that the credit board will be permanent. We're going to unveil them in any second, but Mother Nature is already unveiling them, as you can see. And something I'd like to say is that this project, we started from the ground up, and we're a number of $1,000s short, just for materials and supplies. You can see the size of the venture. So we're looking forward to community-minded people continuing to contribute. And come and see Dan or myself or Gerald or anybody, and we'll be glad to tell you how you can do that and what our needs are. Thank you very much. We will now have the unveiling, please.
Dan, always a special moment at an unveiling of a work like that, and
What does it feel for you to be at that as a first real official public viewing of your work?
Well, actually, I appreciate you saying your work, but really, it's like I said in another time that it represents corporate artwork. So I did play a small part in this, but really, without all the other people involved, it would have been impossible. I couldn't possibly have done it, and that includes the students at the 4 high schools, being Kaslo, Mount Sentinel, LVR, and Trafalgar. Everyone was really dynamite, and there was lots of cooperation, and the teachers were beautiful, and it was, like I said, a tremendous blessing for me to be used as a facilitator in this project. I think I'm going to enjoy this for years to come, and hopefully Nelson will too, because the main part of the impetus for doing this thing is to improve my environment and be a blessing to my community.
Well, that's good. What is the statement? What's the story that you can lead us through there?
Well, it's heritage. It's mostly heritage, and it's area stuff. And what you have here is, a lot of people have seen this. This is actually a picture of a train coming around Payne Bluff, and it's on a poster, and it's called Along the Line. And then the next one is the Nisukin, which was the largest paddle wheeler on the lake. And we got that from Helmet, and thanks to Helmet, it really worked well. Thanks, Helmet. And the next one is a trolley.
Very much part of the story of Nelson.
Very much part of the story of Nelson, and I wish I knew a little bit more about it. I'm kind of curious about that flag in the back that says Africa. If anyone knows anything about that and can give me a little more information on that particular image, I'd really appreciate it, really. And then finally we have something that was done from a couple photographs by our good friend Steve Thornton, who's with the Nelson Daily News. It's actually a collage. There's 2 separate photographs. And Steve Thornton did a really good job on that as well.
Which makes the statement of where Nelson is today. It takes us from where the railroad punched through to where Hollywood is punching through, and putting Nelson on giving it the notice it really has worked hard for.
Yeah, Nelson has worked hard, and that's what the bulk of our residents are, hard workers, really. And if you'll notice, for example, the first image there is 3/4 view coming towards you, and the next one is 3/4 view going away, and the one after that is 3/4 view coming towards you again, and then you have Steve Martin looking back across it. And these images were chosen because they go together, and it's something that I call symphonic. It's a symphonic assembly, and what it does is it starts here and takes you there, and then Steve Martin, with his glance back over Nelson's history, brings you back to the beginning, so you get kind of a cyclic effect there.
Great amount of pride that you're reflecting, that Nelson has, and it's being reflected through how you're saying it. I detect a pride in what you're saying that is marvelous, beautiful.
Definitely. I am privileged to be a citizen of this town,